Hey guys, and welcome to a new video. I recently got some comments saying that I should upload more regularly, but the problem of that is I'm normally working 8 hours a day and it's really hard to make these good quality big things, and someone said I should make more small videos that are also kinda enjoyable. So I thought to myself, I'm just gonna record something that is on my mind, not writing a big script or having a lot of fancy animations. So today I'm gonna talk about 3 reasons why I, or you probably maybe, lose your games. Normally you kinda ramp up from the smallest reason to the biggest one, but I'm just gonna start off by telling you the biggest one in my opinion. Humans are very emotional, of course. If not, they would be robots. Some are more emotional and some are less. I'm a pretty emotional human being, and if I had a really bad day, I normally transfer it into my League of Legends play. It's easiest to describe this with some example. For example, when you're playing jungle and it's 5 minutes into the game and your mid lane got ganked by Kindred like 3 times and she always died because she completely pushed in and Kindred can just obliterate her because she's a monster early game. Then she starts blaming you in the chat. Oh my god, my jungle is doing nothing, and you're playing a Devour champion, for example, and don't even have good ganks in the early game, or if she's just pushed in, you can't really do anything about that. Now normally you get angry at that, you tell your friend what an idiot that is or whatever, but the thing you should do here, and that is really hard sometimes to realize, is you should first of all mute the person. Second of all, you should not help her on that lane. I know that sounds really harsh and probably some of you are thinking that it's stupid, but if the enemy mid laner is 3-0 or the Kindred has a lot of kills, potential that you get killed when you go into that lane and your mid laner isn't good at all also, then you just give them more kills. So it's a better idea to help your top laner who didn't say a thing or said something nice, just has a normal score and is pushed in at the moment. You just help him to snowball, or help your bot lane who hasn't said a thing. What I'm trying to say is, the toxic person or the bad person, not always the bad person, everyone has a bad day. Even then, that's just a thing that you should do in the jungle, that you should probably help the lane that is doing quite well. Of course, if you see an opening that you can help your lane that isn't doing so well, then of course help them as well. But also on other lanes, like the bot lane for example, the AD carry blaming the support, or the support blaming this AD carry, mostly saying, oh my god, this AD carry, or why do I always get this bad supports? On top lane the same thing with nobody ganks me and so on. Easiest way, just to block them all out and mute them and try not to think about them and make the best out of your game. Your only thought should always be to win the game, however that may be. A very effective way, other than to mute them of course, is, in the words of Sky Williams, to suck their dick. I hated to say it like that, but go on his channel, he actually quotes it exactly like that, and meaning by that is just telling them it's gonna be alright, or you're not doing that bad, and then when they actually get a kill mid lane, just congratulate them like it's their bar mitzvah or whatever. It was a really strange commentary, I'm sorry, but yeah, you get my point. This is gonna be a lot to cut for me. When I don't have a script, I just mumble a lot of shit. So that was the first point, just being very emotional and trying to not get angry at every single thing that goes wrong. When your mid lane gets first blood, you don't scream at them or don't get angry in your head. It's really hard not to think about that, but just focusing on where to gank next or what to do next is way better in that situation. And that gets me to the next reason why you or me probably lose some games, and that is just knowledge. I know this sounds really stupid, but what I mean by that is, I'm just gonna do another example. For example, when you gank bot lane and you get 2 kills and Drake is free at the moment and you're level 8 and you can easily do it, and you don't do it and just go back in the jungle and farm and your bot lane goes back. You just give up that objective. That's a situation where you don't have enough knowledge, or you're just not reacting properly. That's probably a better way to say it. Or for example, the whole enemy team got obliterated in the team fight and you could push mid lane, or if your mid lane is completely pushed in, you just def that and get a Baron for example. But sometimes everyone just splits up on their lane again and just farms a little bit or gets some jungle creeps. Reacting properly sometimes seems really hard for myself and also teammates, and that's another thing that can get you emotionally down when you try to do the Drake and your bot lane just ports back with full life or something like that. That can really devastate you. So if you, in the jungle for example, see that these objectives are free, just tell your team, but not aggressively like, what the fuck, why are you going back, we could do this, we could do that. Just tell them it would be probably a good idea to do the Drake now or Braun, or let's push mid lane and get a tower or whatever. Just tell them nicely, and if they don't do it, then just don't aggressively do it, because alone you probably can and will get catched. Just don't let your emotions flow and think, what else will I do in the situation? Maybe I can take Drake alone, or do the Rift Herald and give it to my top laner if my bot lane just won't react at all. So for the second point, just try and get more knowledge of the game and try to tell your team as well. It's still important to communicate, but if someone like that mid laner from the first point just doesn't care at all and just want to rage at you for him losing the lane, then that won't probably help. So for my last point, and that's just a minor thing, but can be a big thing at some point, and that's one of my biggest problems probably as well. Being arrogant in your champion picks. I have a really big example for that. The enemy picks Lysandra, and your mid laner picks something like Zed. He still can win, but it's a really bad pick against that. Everything can always win against that, that's for sure, but just picking anything else would have been probably a better pick. An example that sometimes describes me is just picking Shaco over a tanky champion when everyone is squishy and I should pick. And that brings me to something that just got me making this video. It's just that I won't be playing Shaco only anymore. I really do love Shaco and I want to be playing him a lot more, but it's like when your whole team is squishy and you still snowball everyone and they don't do my second point, do objectives, help you at Baron, Drake or whatever, and just won't do anything, and I won't blame it on the teammates because I know that it's not always their fault and I should concentrate other than thinking about that. It's just that if I played Volibear there, or if I played Shyvana, Udyr, Master Yi, Amumu, or I mean Kindred is kind of the same thing but a lot stronger early game, even though not a lot stronger, but I think she can do some more consistent damage on the lane, I would have had a better time. So I decided to step away a little bit from Shaco and still playing normals only probably, but in rankeds I'm gonna pick champions that are good for the situation my team is in right now. I mean, when I'm first pick, I'm still probably going to pick something aggressive, but when I'm last pick and I see we need a tank or we need something consistent, then I probably pick Volibear, Shyvana or something like that that is extremely strong. I'm always doing these examples for jungle because I'm a jungle main, but I think you can just think to yourself that not being arrogant and thinking, oh my god, I'm always gonna play Zed even though I don't really know his kit and something, I just love him, then just do that. I mean, League is still a game that you should have fun in, but if that always makes you lose, I don't know if that's still fun. For example, good champions I think that are okay, easy to play mid lane are Cho'Gath, Annie, LeBlanc and Ahri. I've written myself a little list with champions that I will play on these lanes that seem pretty good for me, that aren't really hard to play, because I sometimes get quadra kills with Shaco sometimes, but I'm not that consistent that I can always say I'm gonna be able to do that. So just playing something like Cho'Gath, or on the top lane something like Tank Akali that has been really good recently, or Tryndamere or Trundle or something like that. It can be really consistent without being that amazing mechanically at the game, just soaking up some damage or something like that. Or good combos, or if an OP champion is still free like Malphite, Nautilus. I'm not saying you should always pick these OP champion if you have no idea. You should still probably play them once in a game, even though you don't really need practice for playing Malphite. But you get my point. If you want to win, and we're just looking at winning here, in normal games I never really pick something that would be fitting. I just pick something I have fun at or I want to learn. So this is mainly confronting the issue that you're losing your ranked games. So yeah, this was really all over the place and I'm gonna have a really hard time cutting this audio that I've just recorded. I think I'm gonna be starting to do some videos that aren't scripted or don't have amazingly many effects. Also some montages from my stream, which aren't gonna be that amazing now that I'm not playing Shaco non-stop anymore, but they're still gonna be kind of fun at some point. So I hope you still like this video. I could help you with some of the points to maybe change your playstyle a little bit. I'm gonna be posting ideas for new videos on Twitter now, and you can tell me what you think about them, and maybe I put some more ideas there, or a poll what the next video should be, and then you can vote on that, and then I might say your name in the video and then you are all famous. That would be amazing, right? I hope you're having an amazing day. Check out my stream as well, more advertisement, I'm all over the place. Have an amazing day. Goodbye.